across state lines. That's in today's Daily Brew. The NFL team announced plans this week to move the franchise's headquarters from Missouri to Kansas, and they'll also move into a brand new stadium. What do we think, guys?
Well, so they're not moving far. They're just moving on the Kansas side of Kansas City. So, yes, there is a Kansas City,
the Missouri
Kansas.
people are upset.
Yes, and Missouri people, I mean, if you're a Rams fan, you're probably not a Chiefs fan, but now Missouri has lost 2 teams in the span of, well, now 15 years, because they're not expected to leave until 2031 officially, so Arrowhead still has 5 more years. But again, the Chiefs moved from Dallas, Texas to Missouri under founder Lamar Hunt more than 60 years ago. This comes nearly 2 years after Jackson County, where Kansas City is located. Voters rejected a plan to extend the sales tax.
So they can't be too mad.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I think you can be mad because it's like the owners should help pay for it, because this new stadium, it's going to be 70% publicly funded, and the Hunts are the second richest owners in the league. Just
behind Jerry Jones?
Just behind Jerry Jones. So I think that's why people are upset that they want to help pay, but the owners should help a little bit more.
History question.
Yes.
Were there 2 teams in Dallas, or were the Chiefs there before the Cowboys?
So that's a good question. I believe there might have been 2. I don't know.
Wow.
So I'll have to check
We'll
out.
look into that.
Yeah, we'll look into that. I know a little NFL, but not a ton of it like that far back. But yeah, this has been a story, like you said, for the past 2 years after they blocked out the sales tax. And yes, the new stadium will be a dome. It'll be ready for the 2031 season. So more and more NFL stadiums, more NFL teams are trending towards domes because you can host more year-round events. You have a potential to host the Super Bowl. More people will want to come out. I mean, generally speaking, that you don't have to battle the elements. Now, I always loved playing in the elements. There was a time when the Vikings.
It's also a home court advantage.
Yes,
or
it really,
home team advantage.
it really is. I mean, the Miami Dolphins played in Kansas City. I think it was a few years ago, and they're used to 80s throughout the season. It was 10 below, and they got killed by the Chiefs because they never played in that.
Mm-hmm.
But again, for the fans, the passionate fans, they want to be there, and I think a lot of passionate fans do want to stay outside. But again, if you're, like you said, maybe more fair weather fans, or if you're more casual fan, you don't want to be sitting out in the cold. So now you can be
Kids,
inside.
older adults.
Right, exactly. And now you also can put more suites in and make more money. So I don't love it. I don't like it. But Minnesota did the same thing. Everyone's really doing it. But I loved when Minnesota was outside for 2 years in 2015 and 2014 because the Metrodome collapsed. Then they moved into US Bank, which they currently have. And when they were outside, again, it was a massive advantage. They nearly pulled off a big upset in the playoffs, so it is a big advantage. But again, logistically, business speaking, it does make sense.
Okay, so I got the history lesson. Jonah, remind me of it. So they were in the AFL League, the Chiefs.
Okay.
They were the Texans in Dallas. And they moved and became the Kansas City Chiefs and in the NFL.
Oh, okay. There we go.
So
All right.
there you go.
So thank you, Jonan, for the history lesson.
I do think it's interesting that now we will not have a professional football team, like a whole straight from Iowa, Missouri to Arkansas.
Yeah, I was going to say, you had 2 teams in Missouri in 2014, and now there's none by the time we hit the 2030s.
Yeah, it is interesting, but I might go now. It won't be cold. All right, well, in Van Buren at Oliver Springs, we had multiple people send this in. This is so fun. 2 principals kicked off the holidays with some elf on the shelf shenanigans. Take a look here. Principal Summer Cox and assistant principal Renee Henson, they wanted to send their kids off to Christmas break in the most fun way possible. So they spent every day before the break dressed as elves on the shelves, getting into some mischief. As you can see, each day they hid and took pictures in different places. And for the grand finale, they ended up on the roof during school drop-off. There they are. I also was told it was a very cold morning that morning, so they were very dedicated. Staff at the school say that the kids were so excited. They loved every minute of it, and they say the principals did as well, and they're excited. They were so excited to see what they were up to every single day. And I feel like as a parent, that's so fun to drop your kids off to that, and they're excited to go into school and to see what their principals are up to, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, it just shows, like, if your principals, like the people that are in charge of your school, if they're into it, then it trickles all the way down. It's like, it follows leadership. And so if they're into it, everyone's going to be into it. So I really love that.
I wonder, like, what the drawing board was like when they came up with the idea,
Right?
like, okay, what are these things that we can do here?
I love the one where they're in the trophy case.
Yes, that's so creative.
That is so funny. And who all helped them to get in the
there.
trophy case? Like, you have to be so careful. They probably had to take stuff out, get in. But this is a blast. I know they had a blast doing this for sure.
All right, well, artificial intelligence is helping take the stress out of holiday shopping for some people. Google's AI tool and similar tools from companies like Walmart and Target are searching billions of listings, comparing prices, and even calling local stores to check their inventory. The AI searches 50 billion online and local listings. Shoppers can also set product preferences, target prices, and then receive alerts when those deals hit. What do you think? Deep sigh.
AI's taking over.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just more and more. Now, there are some things that are pretty beneficial. This could be one of them, but also I think it just takes the fun out of just like hunting from store to store and being like, all right, like where is the best deal?
I think some of it is stuff that you don't realize AI was doing. Like, obviously, when you think of a Christmas gift and you were to Google it, it would compare prices to other people, so it was doing that.
Right, yeah, it was already doing now. It's just more on an advanced scale. So this, like, I don't mind as much, but also
It is fun to hunt, though.
Yes, it is fun to hunt, and it's also just like, it's how crazy, how much this is accelerating even compared to last year.
The calling stores for inventory is creepy.
Yeah, so like, what does it say? Does it say like, hello?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of stores, too, I don't know if y'all have noticed, they want you to download the app, and so
Yeah.
they don't even put prices on the tags
Yeah, it'll just say
anymore.
scan for
And you
price.
scan, and then I don't like that.
A lot of stores don't have phone numbers anymore either.
Really?
Yeah.
That
And then you have to talk to the operator.
Oh,
Yeah.
that and QR code menus, please
And
stop.
you're like, speak to person.